When was the last time that you actually sat down with your thoughts? I think that there's a lot of resistance towards journaling because people think that it requires a lot of discipline and maybe you need to have inspiration and know exactly what to say, but I think it has a lot more to do with paying attention to your life. In this video, I want to talk about why you should start journaling in 2026, and I hope that by the end of this video, I can convince you just a little bit that journaling isn't as hard as you think, and that in fact, it is so impactful to your life. I want to get right into it. The first point that I have is that journaling creates clarity. I think that a lot of people wait until they know how they feel in order to write. Journaling is the opposite. I think you should write to know what you feel. Clarity is often misunderstood as a moment of realization or a sudden shift, but I think that it is more of a process, and journaling is definitely so vital to that process. Our thoughts can often get stuck in a loop and repeat without progressing, and I think that this is where journaling can truly help. Journaling forces you to separate how you feel, what you may assume, and what is actually true. When you write down your thoughts, whether you know what they are or not, it becomes more specific on paper, and I think that is the beginning of understanding how you really feel. I like to incorporate a stream of consciousness style of journaling where you just pick up a pen and start writing. You don't think, you just write. And I think that has been so important in my life because a lot of the times I can get stuck on how I think that I should write and how I want to be viewed, but I also realize that no one is reading my journal but me. I really want to emphasize that clarity does not come from writing well, but it does come from writing honestly. Another reason why journaling is so important to quiet down your thoughts is that it forces you to slow down, and oftentimes in our heads we can have thoughts that are overlapping each other, interrupting each other, but on paper you physically cannot do that. Every thought has to wait its turn, and so when you slow down and you write it out, your thoughts become way more clear and way more meaningful. I do also want to say that I know a lot of people use online journals like writing in their notes app or Notion, but I think that there is something so beautiful about putting pen to paper, and there isn't really a feeling that can replicate that. The next point that I wanted to make is that journaling preserves a life that is passing. Something that I have dealt with for such a long time is the fear of getting older and days just passing by. I feel like this last year has passed by so fast. I think January felt like a week. The reality is life is going by so fast, and it is so easy to forget the little moments that brought you joy, and there were so many small moments, so many small joys that happened this past year that I am so grateful for, but I am even more grateful that I wrote everything down in such great detail that I can look back and really know how I felt in that moment, because I will never feel that same exact way again. And I also will never be as young as I am now. I know that a lot of people might say that they document their life on social media, like Instagram, TikTok, and obviously you guys are watching me on YouTube right now, and I love documenting my life on here. But we have to also recognize that it is performative, and whether we like it or not, we are not going to be 100% truly our authentic selves on the internet. And that's okay. Even when I make a video diary, I am editing and cropping out so many different things and making a very curated video that I'm putting out there because people are watching. Your journal is the only space that you have that you can truly be honest with yourself, because nobody's reading, and I think that it's so important to have real conversations with yourself. The third point that I have, and also my final point, is that journaling is the discipline of self-observation. Whether we write or not, we are constantly watching ourselves, judging, narrating, revisiting our own thoughts. We don't just stop self-observing just because we avoid it, and I think that Franz Kafka understood this so deeply. He described writing as something that we are obligated to do, not just creatively, but psychologically. He wrote, writing is the inescapable duty of self-observation. So in other words, whether we journal or not, we are constantly observing ourselves, and the only difference is that writing gives our observations a place to sit, and we can go revisit that at any time. A lot of the times we think about things and we observe and we have moments of realization. But how often do we really go back and think about those moments again? So as I close, I just wanted to say that journaling is not about being impressive or being intellectual. It is about being your true, honest self on paper, and it's about paying attention. So I just want to tell you that you don't need to know what to say, you just need to be willing to notice, and that's enough to begin. I hope that this video has convinced even just a fraction of you to start journaling this year. You will never regret it. You will never regret keeping a journal and starting journaling this year. So I hope that you do. And I hope that you enjoy this video. If you have any thoughts or questions, leave them down below and I will answer them. I will see you guys in my next video.